Have you ever wondered if love could be something you actively cultivate, rather than a fleeting stroke of luck? Imagine the possibility that love is not just the result of fate or emotions, but a product of your inner mastery. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of resilience and wisdom, teaches us that while we cannot control others, we hold full command over ourselves. And when you shape your mind, your actions, and your spirit in alignment with this profound wisdom, you don't need to chase love, it finds you. Consider this: we are often driven by anxiety, insecurity, and the desperate hope for someone to see our worth. Yet true attraction comes not from trying to manipulate outcomes, but from becoming the person worthy of genuine connection. Stoicism teaches that the power to attract others lies not in elaborate schemes or external charm, but in cultivating virtues that radiate from within. Imagine a life where your presence alone inspires trust, admiration, and respect, where you no longer seek validation because you understand that your value is inherent. Today, we're going to explore the Stoic secrets that will guide you on this path. These aren't superficial tips, but profound principles rooted in centuries of wisdom. By mastering these, you'll not only attract the person you desire, but forge deeper, more meaningful relationships, built on the foundation of your own inner strength. Let us embark on this journey, not to manipulate others, but to transform ourselves, because when you become the best version of yourself, the world takes notice. Number 1. Anchor your life in inner calm. Picture this: a storm raging around you, chaos, uncertainty, the unpredictability of life's waves. Yet amidst it all, there you stand, unwavering, like a lighthouse in the tempest. This is the power of inner calm. In a world that thrives on constant motion and distraction, those who anchor themselves in tranquility become beacons that naturally draw others in. You see, it is not the external circumstances that define you, but your response to them. Stoicism reminds us that while we cannot still the storm, we can calm our inner waters. This is where true attraction begins. The person who masters their mind, who cultivates peace amidst life's turbulence, radiates something that goes far beyond appearance or charisma. It's a quiet strength, a magnetic stability that others instinctively seek. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, reminds us that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you internalize this truth, your energy shifts. You are no longer caught up in the rush to impress or manipulate. Instead, you become a source of comfort, of reliability, and of calm, a rare quality in a world ruled by haste and emotion. To anchor your life in inner calm is to become unshaken by the small irritations and inevitable challenges that come your way. This isn't about suppressing your feelings or pretending everything is fine. It's about recognizing that your peace is something no one else can take from you unless you allow it. Now, imagine what that does to those around you. When they see that your calm is genuine, that you face life's trials with grace, they will be drawn to the quiet confidence you exude. People seek peace in others because they struggle to find it within themselves. By mastering this Stoic principle, you become the lighthouse they seek, not by chasing, but by simply standing tall, steady, and illuminated from within. So, how do you begin? Each day, commit to small acts of stillness. Whether through meditation, mindful breathing, or simply pausing before reacting, you train your mind to be present, to be undisturbed by the noise. The calm you cultivate in yourself becomes a reflection of the life you attract. Others will sense this, consciously or not, and be naturally drawn to the peace you embody. Number 2, embody quiet confidence. In a world that often mistakes loudness for strength and arrogance for confidence, there is a rare and powerful force that stands apart: quiet confidence. True confidence does not shout, it does not demand attention. It simply exists, grounded and unshakable. It is this quiet confidence that Stoicism teaches us to cultivate, for it is not built on external validation or fleeting successes. but on an internal foundation of self-reliance and virtue. Imagine walking into a room where others are caught in the noise of their insecurities, competing for approval, desperate to be seen. And yet you remain still, sure of yourself, because your sense of worth comes from within. This is the essence of quiet confidence. It doesn't need to seek recognition, for it draws others in naturally, like gravity. The less you chase the approval of others, the more they are drawn to the calm assurance you embody. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reminds us, true happiness is to enjoy your own company. And when you enjoy your own company, when you are at peace with who you are, others cannot help but notice. They are drawn to those who carry themselves with dignity and certainty. Confidence built on self-mastery is unshakable because it is not dependent on the opinions of others or the circumstances around you. It radiates from within. So how do we, as Stoics, cultivate this quiet confidence? Begin by shifting your focus inward. Instead of seeking validation from the outside world, learn to assess your own progress by your standards. Reflect on your growth. What have you learned? How have you improved? Confidence is not found in perfection, but in the continuous striving to better oneself. In every interaction, practice restraint. Do not feel the need to prove your worth through words or actions. Instead, let your presence speak for you. The world often expects loudness, but silence, when rooted in certainty, is far more powerful. When you walk with quiet confidence, people will notice that you are not swayed by the trivial opinions or judgments of others. This alone commands respect and admiration. Remember, quiet confidence does not mean indifference. It means choosing where to direct your energy. As Marcus Aurelius said, the tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do, only what you do. Focus on your own actions, your own virtues, and let your quiet confidence be the beacon by which others are guided. The next time you feel the urge to defend or prove yourself, pause. Reflect on the Stoic principle that your worth is intrinsic, unshaken by the winds of external judgment. Stand firm in the strength of who you are becoming, and you will find that the world takes notice, drawn to the quiet, unspoken power that emanates from within. Number 3, develop empathy without attachment. To truly connect with others, you must first learn to understand them. But Stoicism teaches us a critical distinction: empathy without attachment. While empathy allows us to see through another's eyes, attachment ties our well-being to how others feel or respond. And therein lies the danger. If your happiness or peace depends on how someone else reacts, you have surrendered your inner strength. Imagine the freedom of truly caring for others deeply without being tethered to their approval or validation. Empathy, when practiced with Stoic wisdom, becomes a way to enrich your relationships without losing yourself in them. It allows you to listen fully, to be present, but also to remain grounded in your own sense of self-worth. As Epictetus wisely observed, some things are in our control, others are not. You cannot control the thoughts or emotions of others, but you can control how you respond to them. Empathy, then, is not about trying to fix or change someone else, but about understanding their perspective with compassion and offering support without becoming consumed by the outcome. Imagine this in practice. You are in conversation with someone you care about. Perhaps they are struggling, lost in their own emotional turmoil. Your first instinct might be to jump in, to offer advice, or even to take on their pain as your own. But the Stoic approach reminds us to step back, to listen without attachment. Your role is not to carry their burden, but to provide the space for them to be heard. By doing so, you create a bond far deeper than one built on dependence. You offer something far more valuable, a calm, understanding presence that is there not to fix, but to witness and support. This, too, is how we cultivate lasting relationships, by showing we care, but never needing the outcome to validate us. Empathy without attachment also means respecting the other person's journey. Each individual is responsible for their own growth, their own choices. As much as we may wish to guide them, we must let go of the desire to control. To truly love someone or to build meaningful connections is to honor their path while remaining rooted in our own. To develop this type of empathy, start by practicing deep listening. When you engage with others, listen not just with your ears, but with your full attention. Do not interrupt or rush to offer solutions. Instead, ask yourself, what do they need to express? How can I be present without seeking to control or change? By doing this, you honor the dignity of the person in front of you while maintaining your own inner peace. Remember, the Stoic approach to empathy is not cold detachment. It is a deep, warm understanding, coupled with the wisdom to know that your peace does not depend on their reaction. And when you can do this, you will find that your relationships are not only stronger but more genuine, for they are built on mutual respect and personal freedom. In the end, empathy without attachment is not a retreat from caring, but a more enlightened way to care. It is the art of loving without losing yourself, of offering support while standing firm in your own serenity. This balance, rare as it may seem, is the secret to building relationships that are both profound and sustainable. Number 4, lead with integrity and kindness. In a world that often celebrates cleverness over character and ambition over integrity, Stoicism offers us a different path, one that leads through the quiet power of virtue. To lead with integrity is not just to act rightly when others are watching, but to remain steadfast in your principles when no one is there to witness your choices. It is this unwavering consistency that not only builds trust, but commands true respect. Imagine the kind of person others instinctively trust. It is not the one who speaks the loudest or seeks the most attention, but the one whose actions are aligned with their values. Integrity shines not through grand gestures, but through the small, daily acts of honesty and kindness that form the bedrock of a person's character. When you live with integrity, you become someone others can depend on, someone who attracts admiration not by force, but through the quiet strength of sincerity. Seneca once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This simple but profound guidance is at the heart of Stoic ethics. Leading with integrity means holding yourself to these standards, even when it would be easier to bend them for convenience or personal gain. The strength to remain true to what is right, even in difficult circumstances, becomes the invisible thread that binds relationships in trust and mutual respect. Yet, integrity alone is not enough. Stoicism teaches that integrity, when paired with kindness, becomes a force of profound attraction. Kindness is not weakness. It is the expression of strength controlled by wisdom. It is the choice to respond to others not with harshness or judgment, but with compassion and understanding. When you lead with both integrity and kindness, you demonstrate a rare balance, the ability to remain firm in your values while extending grace to others. Consider this. In every interaction, you have a choice. You can assert dominance, impose your will, or take the higher road of kindness. Kindness, when rooted in integrity, is not about pleasing others or seeking their approval. It is about treating people with the respect and dignity they deserve, regardless of how they treat you in return. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. To lead with kindness is to transcend pettiness and to show, through your actions, the strength of your character. So how can we, as Stoics, embody this principle in daily life? Start by reflecting on the small moments where integrity and kindness intersect. It could be as simple as keeping a promise when it is inconvenient, or offering words of encouragement when others expect nothing from you. Each act, however small, reinforces who you are becoming. And over time, these moments of integrity and kindness weave together a reputation that others will respect and admire. Remember, Leading with integrity and kindness is not about seeking praise. It is about living in alignment with your values, knowing that the respect you earn is not fleeting, but deeply rooted in the way you live. When others see that your words and actions are guided by something higher than self-interest, they will be drawn to the authenticity of your character. Number 5, cultivate emotional resilience. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, watching as waves crash against the shore. Some are gentle, others fierce, but none of them are within your control. Now, picture yourself as the rock in the midst of that ocean, steady, unmoved by the rise and fall of the tide. This is emotional resilience, the Stoics' armor against the unpredictable forces of life. In a world where emotions often dictate actions, the ability to remain unshaken is not only a source of personal peace, but a quality that others deeply admire. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing feelings or pretending that pain does not exist. Rather, it is the mastery of how we respond to those feelings. It is the knowledge, as Marcus Aurelius put it, that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Life will throw challenges, disappointments, and setbacks your way. People will disappoint you, circumstances will change, but your reaction to these events is yours to command. Consider this. In moments of emotional turmoil, it is tempting to lash out, to let anger, frustration, or sadness dictate your actions. But the Stoic knows that to react impulsively is to surrender control. Instead, resilience begins with the pause, the ability to step back from the chaos of emotion, breathe, and reflect. This pause is not weakness, it is the gateway to strength. By choosing to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, you not only regain control of yourself, but also demonstrate a level of composure that others cannot help but respect. Epictetus taught us that it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Cultivating emotional resilience means understanding that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. When faced with criticism, rejection, or conflict, the Stoic does not crumble or lash out. Instead, they see it as a chance to practice patience, wisdom, and self-control. This ability to remain calm under pressure makes you a pillar of strength, a person others turn to when the storms of life are raging. So how can you begin to build emotional resilience? Start by practicing mindfulness in the face of discomfort. The next time you feel your emotions rising, whether from anger, fear, or disappointment, pause. Take a deep breath and remind yourself of what is within your control, your response. In that moment of reflection, you choose not to be swept away by the tide of emotion, but to stand firm like the rock in the ocean. Over time, this practice of resilience will become second nature. You will find that the things which once provoked you lose their power, and instead of reacting, you respond with calm and clarity. This strength of character does more than just benefit you, it becomes magnetic to those around you. People are naturally drawn to those who are steady in the face of adversity, those who can navigate life's challenges without being consumed by them. But emotional resilience is not only about protecting yourself, it is also about creating a space of peace for others. When you are able to remain calm and composed in difficult situations, you offer stability to those around you. In moments of conflict or tension, your presence becomes a source of reassurance, a reminder that they too can weather the storm. Number 6, radiate gratitude and optimism. What if I told you that true strength comes not from power or control, but from a heart filled with gratitude? In a world often focused on what is lacking, those who cultivate gratitude become a rare and shining light, drawing others toward them like the warmth of the sun. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control every outcome, we can always choose how we perceive and respond to the events in our lives. And when we choose gratitude, we transform not only our own experience, but also the energy we bring into the lives of others. Gratitude is the Stoic's secret weapon. a quiet force that shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you radiate a calm contentment that others find irresistible. Consider the words of Epictetus. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. In this simple shift, rejoicing in what is rather than longing for what is not, you unlock a power greater than any external accomplishment, the power to be at peace, regardless of circumstance. Imagine entering a room not weighed down by complaints or worries, but with an air of quiet optimism. Others sense it immediately. There is something different about you. It's not that you are blind to life's challenges, but rather that you have chosen to focus on what is good, what is possible. This optimism, rooted in gratitude, is a reflection of your inner strength. It shows that no matter the chaos around you, you remain anchored in appreciation for what life has given you. But gratitude is not only an inward practice, it is an outward force that transforms relationships. When you express genuine gratitude to those around you, you invite them into a space of positivity and connection. Think about how rare and powerful it is to hear someone express sincere appreciation in a world so often driven by criticism. Gratitude, when shared, is magnetic. It creates bonds that are stronger and more enduring than those built on superficial compliments or hollow words. To cultivate this kind of gratitude, begin each day with a moment of reflection. Ask yourself, what do I have to be thankful for today? It could be something as simple as the air you breathe or the people you love. By starting your day with this mindset, you set a tone of abundance that carries through your actions and interactions. When challenges arise, as they inevitably will, gratitude acts as your shield, allowing you to see the lesson in the hardship, the opportunity in the obstacle. And what of optimism? It is not the blind hope that everything will be perfect, but the Stoic belief that within every situation lies a seed of growth, a chance to become better. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Optimism is the art of seeing every difficulty as a stepping stone, a path that leads you closer to wisdom, closer to strength. When you live with this mindset, you radiate a confidence that draws others in, not because you promise perfection, but because you embody the resilience to face whatever comes. Now imagine what it would feel like to walk through life with this kind of gratitude and optimism. Instead of being burdened by the weight of your circumstances, you lift others with your presence. Your optimism is not naive, but wise. It is the understanding that every day is an opportunity to grow, to appreciate, and to share that appreciation with those around you. When you radiate gratitude, you attract people who value your depth, your wisdom, and your calm. You become a person others want to be around, not because you are without problems, but because you have learned to see the beauty in life despite them. This, my friends, is the power of gratitude and optimism in Stoic philosophy, not only to transform yourself, but to become a source of light for others, guiding them toward a deeper, more meaningful way of being. Number 7, demonstrate patience in relationships. In a world driven by instant gratification, where impatience fuels frustration and misunderstanding, there is an ancient and often forgotten virtue that sets one apart: patience. To a Stoic, patience is not merely the ability to wait, but the mastery of time itself. It is the art of trusting the natural course of events, knowing that meaningful connections, like all things of value, are not rushed. In relationships, patience becomes the quiet force that allows love and trust to flourish without force or demand. Seneca reminds us, time discovers truth. What does this mean for those of us seeking connection? It means that the bonds worth cultivating are not formed overnight. They require space to grow, time to deepen, and the wisdom to allow the relationship to evolve naturally. Patience, in this sense, is the willingness to let things unfold at their own pace, without the anxiety of control or the pressure of expectation. Imagine this in practice. You have met someone who stirs your heart, but instead of rushing into the relationship with the urgency of desire, you choose to move with patience. You listen, you observe, and most importantly, you allow the other person to reveal themselves in their own time. This approach is not passive, it is active wisdom. By demonstrating patience, you create a space where trust can take root, where the connection can develop authentically, free from the strain of unmet expectations. Patience in relationships is the antidote to impulsiveness, which so often leads to misunderstandings and regret. How often do we rush to conclusions, demand answers, or react hastily when we feel uncertain? Stoicism teaches us that these reactions stem from fear, the fear of loss, of rejection, of being vulnerable. But when we practice patience, we rise above this fear. We become secure in the knowledge that what is meant to be will come in its own time, and that forcing the hand of fate only weakens the foundation we seek to build. Epictetus, the great Stoic teacher, once said, "No great thing is created suddenly." Relationships, like all things of worth, are nurtured through time, understanding, and care. Patience allows us to approach others with kindness and acceptance, rather than the selfish urgency to satisfy our own needs. It shows that we value the other person not as a means to an end, but as an individual worthy of our time and attention. Practicing patience does not mean being passive or indifferent. It means being engaged with intention, but without desperation. It means showing up with consistency, being present in the moment, and understanding that the strength of a relationship lies not in how quickly it is formed, but in how deeply it is rooted. When you are patient, you allow the relationship to breathe, to grow organically, and to reveal its true potential. How can we cultivate this patience? Start by letting go of the need for immediate answers or outcomes. Instead of seeking certainty, embrace the present moment. Trust in the process of discovery of both the other person and yourself. When challenges arise, resist the urge to react impulsively. Take a breath, reflect, and remember that time is your ally, not your enemy. Patience is not about waiting passively, but about engaging thoughtfully, knowing that meaningful relationships are built on a foundation of steady effort and mutual respect. When you demonstrate patience in relationships, you convey a deep sense of confidence in yourself, in the other person, and in the journey you are both on. This patience becomes a sign of strength, a quiet assurance that you do not need to rush toward an outcome because you trust in the natural unfolding of life. Others will sense this calm, and they will be drawn to it, for patience creates a space of peace where true connection can flourish. Number 8. Refine your communication skills. In the intricate dance of human relationships, words are both the bridge and the barrier. They have the power to heal or to harm, to connect or to divide. To the Stoic, communication is not merely a tool for conveying information, but a reflection of one's inner discipline and wisdom. It is not enough to speak. It is essential to speak wisely, to listen deeply, and to engage with compassion. If you wish to build lasting relationships, refining your communication is not just a skill, but an ethical duty. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, reminds us, whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? This profound insight captures the essence of Stoic communication. It begins not with the other person, but with ourselves. Before we speak, before we judge, we must first examine our own minds and motivations. Only when we communicate from a place of self-awareness can our words truly build connection rather than conflict. In every conversation, there is a choice: to listen with empathy or to speak with ego. Too often, we fall into the trap of speaking to be heard rather than to understand. Stoicism teaches us that true communication is rooted in humility. the recognition that we do not have all the answers, that we, too, are imperfect. When you approach a conversation with the intention to learn, to understand the other person's perspective, you unlock the door to deeper connection. Imagine this. The next time you are engaged in a conversation, instead of formulating your response while the other person speaks, you commit to truly listening. You hear their words not just with your ears, but with your heart. You listen to understand, not to reply. This act of deep listening, rare in today's world of constant noise, transforms the very nature of the interaction. It shows that you value the other person, that you are present, and that you care more about connection than being right. Seneca once wrote, "Speech devoted to truth should be straightforward and plain." There is a quiet strength in simplicity. In refining your communication, remember that clarity is more powerful than complexity. Speak with honesty, but temper it with kindness. When your words come from a place of sincerity and respect, they carry weight far beyond their simplicity. People are drawn to those who communicate with both conviction and care, those who do not speak to dominate, but to build bridges of understanding. Yet refining communication is not just about how we speak, it is about how we listen, how we react, and how we hold space for others. As Epictetus reminds us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Listening is not passive. It is the active choice to put aside our own ego and fully engage with the thoughts and emotions of the person in front of us. When you practice this, you create a sense of safety in your relationships, allowing others to feel heard and understood on a deeper level. To refine your communication, begin with small acts of mindfulness in your daily interactions. Practice pausing before you speak. Take a breath and ask yourself, is what I am about to say necessary, kind, and true? If it is, speak it with clarity and confidence. If not, choose silence, for there is wisdom in restraint. Remember that silence, too, is a form of communication, one that can often speak louder than words. Nonverbal communication is just as critical. Your tone, your posture, your presence, all of these convey messages that words alone cannot. When you speak, let your body language align with your intentions. Maintain eye contact, be open and present, and use gestures that reflect the calmness of your mind. A Stoic speaks not just with their mouth, but with their entire being, creating harmony between their words and their actions. In the end, refining your communication skills is about becoming a master of presence. It is about choosing your words with care, listening with your whole being, and always seeking to uplift rather than tear down. When you communicate in this way, others will be naturally drawn to you, not because you speak the loudest, but because your words and actions resonate with truth and integrity. By refining your communication, you become a person others trust and respect. Your words will carry weight because they are grounded in wisdom, and your presence will foster connection because it is rooted in empathy. In this way, Stoic communication is not merely an exchange of words, but a reflection of who you are at your core, a person of integrity, wisdom, and genuine care for those around you. Number 9, balance vulnerability with strength. In the Stoic view, strength is often misunderstood. It is not the absence of feeling, nor is it the denial of emotion. True strength lies in the ability to hold space for vulnerability while remaining anchored in inner resolve. To be vulnerable is not to be weak. It is to embrace the fullness of the human experience with courage. When you balance vulnerability with strength, you create a connection that is both authentic and unshakable. Consider the oak tree, standing tall and resilient. Its strength comes not from being rigid, but from its ability to bend with the wind without breaking. In relationships, we must learn to bend, to open ourselves to others, to share our fears, hopes, and desires. But like the oak, we must also remain rooted in our core values and inner strength. Vulnerability, when balanced with Stoic fortitude, becomes a powerful tool for deepening trust and connection. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote, "Do not be ashamed of help. You need counsel to grow, just as the soldier needs the shield and sword to fight." To share your struggles, your doubts, your imperfections, this is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. It shows that you have the strength to admit that you are human, that you are still growing, still learning. In doing so, you invite others to see you as you truly are, and this authenticity forms the foundation of meaningful relationships. Yet, vulnerability does not mean surrendering your strength. The Stoic understands that while it is noble to open your heart, it is also necessary to guard your peace. You can share your emotions without being ruled by them. You can allow others to see your true self without placing your sense of worth in their hands. This is the balance of vulnerability and strength, to offer yourself fully, but to remain whole even if others do not respond as you wish. Imagine sharing a piece of yourself, perhaps a fear or a dream, with someone you care about. In that moment, there is a risk, the fear of rejection, the uncertainty of how they will react. But Stoicism teaches us to let go of the need to control the outcome. As Epictetus reminds us, some things are up to us and some things are not. You cannot control how others respond to your vulnerability, but you can control how you approach it, with courage, with honesty, and with the understanding that their reaction does not define your worth. By balancing vulnerability with strength, you cultivate a deep sense of trust, not just with others, but within yourself. You trust that you have the resilience to face whatever comes, that you can share openly without losing yourself in the process. Others will be drawn to this balance because it is rare. In a world where people either hide behind walls or crumble at the slightest rejection, those who can embrace both their strength and their vulnerability stand out. How do we cultivate this balance? Start by recognizing that vulnerability is a form of courage. When you share your true self, you are not seeking validation. You are offering connection. Practice opening up in small ways, whether it's sharing a personal story, admitting a mistake, or expressing an emotion you've kept hidden. At the same time, remind yourself that no matter how others respond, your inner strength remains intact. You are still whole, still worthy, still anchored in your own self-mastery. And when others are vulnerable with you, respond with the same strength and compassion. Hold space for their emotions without judgment, knowing that it takes great courage to be seen as they truly are. This reciprocal exchange of vulnerability and strength creates a bond that is more than just surface level. It is a connection rooted in mutual respect and trust. Number 10. Focus on continuous growth and learning. In the Stoic pursuit of wisdom, there is one truth that stands above all. We are never complete. Life is a constant unfolding, a journey where the destination is not perfection, but progress. To attract meaningful relationships and build lasting connections, you must commit yourself to this endless process of growth and learning. It is not through the static display of what you know, but through your willingness to evolve that you truly draw others toward you. Imagine your mind as a garden. If left unattended, it will grow wild and unkempt, overtaken by the weeds of ignorance and complacency. But if you tend to it, if you plant seeds of knowledge, water them with curiosity, and prune away outdated ideas, your mind becomes a place of beauty and depth, something that others are naturally drawn to. As Epictetus reminds us, only the educated are free. And this freedom, this openness to continual learning, is what makes you not only more interesting, but more capable of forming deep, enriching relationships. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And how do we improve the quality of our thoughts? By constantly seeking new knowledge, by reflecting on our experiences, and by being willing to challenge what we think we know. A mind that is committed to growth is one that remains flexible, open to new perspectives, and ready to adapt. In relationships, this quality is invaluable. It shows that you are not stagnant, that you are always becoming, and that those around you can grow alongside you. But learning, in the Stoic sense, is not limited to the accumulation of facts or intellectual pursuits. It is a deeper process, one that involves the cultivation of wisdom, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. Continuous growth means learning from life itself, from every experience, every challenge, and every interaction. It means reflecting on your actions, questioning your beliefs, and being humble enough to admit when you are wrong. When you focus on your own growth, you become someone who inspires others to do the same. People are naturally drawn to those who are not content with mediocrity, who strive each day to be better than they were yesterday. This striving, however, is not a race toward perfection, but a humble recognition that life's greatest gift is the opportunity to grow. As Seneca observed, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. So, how do we embrace this path of continuous growth in our relationships? Begin by making learning a daily practice. Read, reflect, and engage with ideas that challenge you. Seek out conversations that expand your understanding, not just of the world, but of yourself. When conflicts or difficulties arise, approach them not with frustration, but with the mindset of a student. What can this teach me? How can I grow from this? Remember, growth is not always comfortable. It often requires stepping outside of your comfort zone, confronting uncomfortable truths, and shedding old habits or beliefs that no longer serve you. But it is in this discomfort that you become stronger, wiser, and more attuned to the deeper rhythms of life. In relationships, this commitment to growth translates into a willingness to listen, to learn from others, and to grow together. It fosters an environment where both individuals can evolve, where neither feels stagnant or trapped. When you demonstrate a passion for continuous learning, you create a space of intellectual and emotional stimulation, where curiosity replaces complacency, and where both parties feel encouraged to explore new ideas and new ways of being. But growth also requires patience. Just as you cannot rush a tree to bear fruit, you cannot rush the process of becoming. Embrace the journey of self-improvement with humility, knowing that each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your highest potential. And as you grow, those around you will sense your deepening wisdom, your expanding perspective, and they will be drawn to the light of your evolving self. In our pursuit of love, we often look outward, searching for the person who will complete us, who will see our worth, who will bring us the happiness we crave. Yet, the Stoic path teaches us a different way. Love, like wisdom, is not something to be chased, manipulated, or demanded. It is something that finds you naturally when you are ready, when you have become the person worthy of the love you seek. Picture this. You are no longer driven by the need for validation, no longer consumed by the anxiety of whether someone will choose you. Instead, you focus inward on your own growth, on mastering your mind, on cultivating peace and resilience. As you become the best version of yourself, strong, calm, confident, love becomes a byproduct of the person you are becoming, not a goal to be grasped at. The Stoics remind us that we cannot control others, but we can always control ourselves. And when you focus on refining your character, on living with integrity, on growing in wisdom and compassion, you naturally attract others who resonate with your values. This is not the fleeting attraction of appearance or charm, but the deep, lasting connection that comes from mutual respect and shared growth. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The same is true of love. The quality of your relationships depends not on how much you try to win someone over, but on the depth of your own character. When you embody the Stoic virtues, patience, resilience, kindness, and wisdom, you become someone others are drawn to, not for what you can give them, but for who you are. Let love find you as you grow. Focus on becoming the person you aspire to be, not out of a desire for recognition, but because growth itself is the highest form of fulfillment. Trust that when you are rooted in your own strength, when your peace does not depend on the approval of others, the right person will come into your life, not because you forced it, but because you have created the space for it to flourish naturally. As you walk this path of self-discovery and personal mastery, remember that love is not something to be earned or won. It is the natural result of living in alignment with your highest self. Others will see the calm, the wisdom, the quiet confidence that radiates from you, and they will be drawn to it. And in that moment, love will no longer be a source of anxiety or striving. It will be a reflection of the peace and fulfillment you have cultivated within. So let love find you as you grow. Trust in the process of becoming, and know that as you commit to your own journey of wisdom and self-mastery, the relationships that are meant for you will arrive strong, genuine, and enduring. This is the Stoic way, to master oneself first, and to let the world and love come to you in its own time. If you're seeking timeless wisdom to master your mind, strengthen your character, and live with purpose, subscribe to Ultimate Stoicism. Dive deep into ancient teachings that will guide you through life's challenges with resilience and clarity. Join a growing community of thinkers committed to self-improvement and unlocking true inner peace. Hit that subscribe button and start your journey toward becoming the best version of yourself, stoic, strong, and unwavering. Top of form, bottom of form. Top of form, bottom of form. Top of form, bottom of form.